Welcome to First Things First, the weekday morning devotions from Pastor Stephen Miller at First Free Will Baptist Church of Morrison City in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Well, good morning and welcome to First Things First. Today is February 1st, and so we're here first thing in the morning on the first day of the month of February. So thankful for this day that the Lord has blessed us with. Thankful for all He's doing, and we know that He's going to do. And thankful for last night's prayer meeting. It's a little interesting, but I guess I stayed emotional through the whole thing. But had a good prayer meeting, and I enjoyed it, whether anybody else did it or not. But we always have a good time on Wednesday nights. So come out and be with us if you can. But today, though, as we go forward, we're getting closer and closer to the weekend, and want to thank the Lord for what He's doing, and praying for this coming weekend, for this coming service Sunday, see what God can do, what we know He's going to do. But before we get to that point, of course, we're going to get into the scripture this morning, and quite a bit of reading this morning in the scriptures, but it comes to us from Luke chapter 8 this morning, and starting with verse 26, says, "And they arrived at the country of the Gadarenes, which is over against Galilee. And when he went forth to the land, there met him out of the city a certain man which had devils long time, and wore no clothes, neither abode in any house but in the tombs. And he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell down before him, and with a loud voice said, What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God Most High? I beseech thee, torment me not. For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man, for oftentimes it had caught him, and he was kept bound with chains and in fetters, and brake the bands, and was driven of the devil into the wilderness. And Jesus asked him, saying, What is thy name? And he said, Legion, because many devils were entered into him. And they besought him that he would not command them to go out into the deep. And there was an herd of swine feeding on the mountain, and they besought him that he would suffer them to enter into them. And he suffered them. And then went the devils out of the man, and entered into the swine, and the herd ran violently down a steep place into the lake, and were choked. And when they that fed them saw what was done, they fled, and went and told it in the city and in the country. Then they went out to see what was done, and came to Jesus, and found the man out of whom the devils were departed, sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. They also which saw it told them by what means that was possessed of the devils was healed. Then the whole multitude of the country of Gadarenes round about besought him to depart from them, for they were taken with great fear. And he went up into the ship, and returned back again. Now the man out of whom the devils were departed besought him that he might be with him. But Jesus sent him away, saying, Return to thine own house, and show how great things God hath done to thee. And he went his way, and published throughout the whole city how great things Jesus had done into him. Excuse me. And as we look at this story of the man that was possessed with the demons, and how that nobody wanted to be around him, nobody cared about him, nobody loved him, and he was somebody that, quite frankly, is just an outcast, literally. And as he was here, he saw Jesus come. Most people, whenever they would see this man, it said that they would turn away and they would go a different route. They didn't want anything to do with this man. He didn't want to get close to him. It wasn't that they were afraid of catching something. They were afraid of what he was going to do to them. And They didn't want to be anywhere around him, but Jesus, instead of trying to go around or trying to avoid this man, which, like I said, most people would do, Jesus went to him, and as he come to him, he instantly recognized that it was the Son of God. Well, the demons did anyways. They knew who they were dealing with, and as they come up, and Jesus had the power and the majesty. He had the ability to to send those demons out. And here again, Jesus showing his power and his authority. And it wasn't that Jesus, again, we've got to remember, he didn't come to heal the physical or even the mental problems that we have, but he came to seek and to save that which was lost. But along that way, in showing his power, he had the ability to do this very thing, to heal what seemed to be hopeless and what seemed to be helpless to everybody else, and everybody else wanted to avoid it, but Jesus went directly to the problem. And I'm glad this morning that no matter what your problem is, Jesus is not afraid of it. And you may feel like it's you're all alone, and it seems like it's you're hopeless and helpless, but I'm glad that Jesus said that he'd be with us all the way, even unto the end of the world. And that's powerful for us to know and to understand that no matter what's going on, that it's going to be all right because of him, because of what he's able to do. And as this man here come, I thought that I've always thought that it's interesting how that this man, whenever Jesus sent the devils out of him and cast them into the swine, and how that the swine run off into the lake and drowned there. The people that saw that were afraid. And you got to remember, this is not the Jewish people. These were Gentiles that were out here. How do you know that? Well, the region that they were in, and then of course they were had the herd of swine, and Jews did not take care of swine. They didn't eat swine. They didn't touch swine. They weren't going to be a part of that. So we know that these were Gentiles that were out here, and as they come out, Jesus told the man, if it had been of a Jewish descent, if it had been a man of God's children there of Israel, then Jesus would have told him to go and show thyself to the priest. But he didn't do that this time. We've seen that before, how that he showed him go to the priest whenever it was the lepers that were cleansed. But here he told this man to go to your family, go to your own house, and show them what God has done for you. And what a great thing for us to think on and to be a part of this morning is, we think, well, we can't show anybody, we can't tell anybody about the gospel. We might be shy or something, but if you just go home and live your life and show them the change that's made in you, that this man that nobody wanted to be around before, his own family didn't love him, his own family didn't care for him anymore, but yet God made a change in his life so drastically and so dramatically that they had to see that there was something in his life that had changed him, and that could change them as well, even them as there were Gentiles, that they could come out. And we know that if you read on further and we look, and we'll see later on how that many from that region came back to hear Jesus again. And I think that part of this was because of this man, because he got excited about what God had done, and he went out and told everybody. And today I think that we could do the same thing. If we just go and live our life and live the Christian life that we're supposed to, and we can, then people will see that, and maybe they'll want to be a part of that. Just go and tell what God's done for you. That's all that it is. You don't have to memorize all the scripture. It'd be great to memorize the Romans Road to Salvation, and tell them how to get saved. But main thing, just go out and tell them what God's done for you, and invite them to come to church. Invite them to be a part of something. Go to a Bible believing church that'll tell you the truth. Tell you what you need to know, not what people wants to know, but what we need to know. So I encourage you to do that today. Be a light to somebody today, and just tell the world what Jesus has done for you. Friend, I hope that you have a blessed day today. Hope that the Lord will strengthen you in your journeys today, and I hope that the Lord will give you that grace and knowledge to be able to reach out to somebody today and tell them about the love of God. Friend, I hope to see you again tomorrow morning. Now, remember, we will be having our funeral here this evening. Brother Russell Carter's mom will be placed here tonight for her final service, and let's remember that family in your prayers this morning. And so we were supposed to have a business meeting. If you're watching on the board of directors this morning, we were supposed to have a business meeting tonight, but we're going to postpone that until next week because of the funeral services. So but do be mindful of that, and again, remember that family in prayer. But again, hope to see you back here tomorrow morning, though, for another edition of First Things First. May God bless you, as our prayers.
First Things First is a ministry of First Free Will Baptist Church of Morrison City. We are located at 211 West Carters Valley Road in Kingsport, Tennessee.